Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. That was a new intro. I've never done that before. Okay, so welcome to my original book tag. This is actually like the third official book tag that I've originated, created, designed, but really my very first one that I've like sat down and kind of like structured out. The first one that I did was a BookTube book scavenger hunt that a lot of people found very difficult. The second one that I did was called The Worst Book Tag Ever, because it was. And today I want to do something completely different. And I was thinking about this because I was like going through book tags earlier today. Now typically what I do, this is how I find a lot of new booktubers, is that I put into the search bar of YouTube book tags 2017, book tags 2016, whatever. And then I go in there and I find new tags I've never heard of before. And I do them, and then underneath there, like I'll find a lot of people that like they've tagged and I've never heard of them before. And what I love is that the BookTube community is so large and so growing that there are so many booktubers out there that I've never heard of before. So like you could be over here watching like this 20 or 30, and like some of those people watch this 20 or 30. And so I love the introduction of other booktubers to each other on BookTube. I think it's awesome. I always love finding new points of view and, you know, different discussions that are going on within the BookTube community. And I feel very honored to be part of the BookTube community. You know, even the fact that somebody out there watches my videos, that I just sit down and I talk about a book that I've read, I mean, it's amazing. And it's just, you know, it's so cool. And also, I'm also on other parts of YouTube. It's not as friendly and as nice over there as it is on BookTube, and I feel like it's so welcoming over here. So today I wanted to do a video where I shouted out several of my favorite booktubers. And so I sat down and I came up with 10 categories of my favorite booktubers, and this is the Booktuber book tag. I mean, it's not really a book tag because it's like the Booktuber Booktuber tag. So anyway, but I have 10 little categories of who I'm gonna tell you are my favorites for those categories. And then, and they're not like what you think they are. They're not like best science fiction reviewer. No. They're more high school than that. And then at the very end, I have kind of like a shout out thing. So should we get right into this? Now, I will tell you how to tag this video at the end of it, okay? So here we go. Are you ready? Number 1, who is your favorite BookTube OG? My favorite BookTube OG is Jesse the Reader. Jesse the Reader is one of the first people that I ever found on BookTube. I've watched his videos consistently ever since then. I absolutely adore him. And, you know, he's part of that tribe that I think a lot of us, you know, when I first started making videos, I felt like, oh, I'll never be up there or whatever. And I could care less about all that anymore. You know, to me, it's that they like really put BookTube on the map. A lot of those, let's say 10 or 20 booktubers out there that were like the first to put videos out, and you know, it's really cool. And I feel like it's important to pay homage to those 10 or 20 young, and most of them are younger people out there that were posting videos consistently and talking about books even when it wasn't super popular. So for me, my OG is Jesse the Reader. Plus, I love how he like comes out, you know. Number 2, a booktuber who makes you feel dumber than you are because their videos are so smart. And I don't mean like a YouTuber that like talks down to you. What I mean by this is like a booktuber that when you watch them, you're like, oh my God. And for that, I'm gonna say Arial Bessette. I love Ariel. I feel like she has blessed me magically with Booktubeathon. It's hands down one of my favorite events of life. I look forward to it every year, and it's so cool that she put it together. And I know a lot of booktubers put, you know, readathons together, and that's amazing, and I do all those too. I do any readathon that comes my way. I will tell you what was the game changer for me was when I watched a review of her, and it was not too long ago. I think it was in the last year. I mean, I always knew she was brilliant, but I watched this review of hers in the last year of Catcher in the Rye, and she talked about it from the point of view of being a young adult novel. Go watch the review, it's fantastic. And she said some things in the video that I had never thought of before, and Salinger's Catcher in the Rye is one of my all-time favorite books. I think I kind of related, as many of us do, at 16 years old, 17 years old, to that kind of lost generation mentality. And, you know, her review of it was so insightful, and I was like, oh my gosh. So for somebody to make me rethink a book that I felt like I knew inside and out is pure genius. And I cannot wait to see what comes from her in the years to come, because I think BookTube for her is just a starting point. I think she'll go on to huge things. Okay, number 3. Who would you like to be your BookTube sister? For me, I am so obsessed with this person. I would love for Lala from Books and Lala to be my BookTube sister, to be my sister in real life. I love her so much, and she's just so endearing. Like, I would just love to call her up on the phone and be like, girl, like, I'm having such a bad day. And she'd be like, okay, like, listen. She's like, you know, she's just so sweet. She's so endearing. She works her butt off to put videos up. She always puts up like inventive videos. Like, I sit there and I watch her videos. I'm like, how did she come up with that idea? It's so genius. It's so good, right? And so I love people that are constantly thinking and coming up with new things. And you know, I've been very blessed in my life to have lots of mother-sister types. And, you know, she is somebody from afar that she doesn't know that she is that for me. But I watch her, and I watch her just keep at the gig of BookTube and read and, you know, re-educate herself and take care of her child and put up videos. And it's just so awesome. I love it. So, Lala, I wish you were my sister. I love you. My BookTube brother. Who would be my BookTube brother? Well, I have many, and being older on BookTube has allowed me to have many people that I call my BookTube little brothers. They know who they are, like Philippe at the YA Reader and all these kind of people. And I just adore them. I love seeing younger readers get excited about all of this. You know, and it has really, for me, rejuvenated kind of my love for reading. But if I had to pick one person that I would love to be my brother, and this is kind of funny because he very much reminds me of my brother-in-law, Juan Carlos, it would be Cam at Wolf Shop Publishing. And I know that will probably surprise people. I tag him a lot in videos, but he is just, like, his sense of humor is so hilarious. He reminds me a lot of myself, other than he's not gay. And so if you need a boyfriend, I think he's got a girlfriend, actually. But his videos are just so fresh, and he does a lot of, like, AuthorTube, which I didn't even know was out there until I started watching his videos. And he's just so, I don't know, so refreshing and hilarious, and it's just a different point of view, and I love it. So Cam at Wolf Shop Publishing would be my BookTube brother. Okay, number 5, who do you feel is the hardest working booktuber on social media? And hands down for me, this is so easy. It is Dylan the Reader 5. Dylan and I both hail from the Hoosier state of Indiana. We live about an hour away from each other. I've been like dying to do a collab with this kid, but like he's 18 and I'm like kind of like intimidated by him because he's like, I plan my videos out a month in advance. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing in February to do a collab, but let me just tell you, this kid reads so much. His reviews are so effing honest. He is on Twitter literally 24 hours a day. He is constantly posting videos. I'm so impressed with him. His channel has really grown in the last couple months. And I don't know, he's just the neatest, coolest kid. And I have to tell you, it's really interesting. When I started BookTube, he actually sent me a book. I think he sent me Cinder from Marissa Meyer, I know he sent me Cinder, which ended up being one of my favorite books. And he wasn't on BookTube at that time, and he has since started his channel. And, you know, he was, I think, very uncomfortable at first, and now he is like, he's a force to be reckoned with on BookTube. And I think he will be around for a very long time. And I think 10 years from now, he will be an OG of BookTube. And I just adore the kid. He is awesome. Okay, number 6, who is your BookTube crush? And you have to answer this. I know you're all gonna say me, okay. And I know it's hard that you're gonna all have to admit the fact that you're in love with this. But anyway, I wanted to kind of add something kind of flirty and fun to the video. I am a married man, but I don't think it'll surprise anybody when I say Connor O'Brien is totally my BookTube crush, okay? I don't know any of the books that he reads. I have never heard of half the books he reads. They're all like middle school, you know, like fantasy books or like these deep Brandon Sanderson fantasy books that I just can't get into at all. But I literally just watch all of his videos and I'm like, oh my God, he is so cute. So Connor O'Brien, and it's not just physically, like he's just so adorable. And he's such a nice guy. So Connor O'Brien for me, and he knows it too, because I've mentioned it in enough videos. He's probably blushing right now if he's watching this. So Connor O'Brien, and yes, he mentioned on a video the other day, he said, so you guys are thinking about moving to South Florida? Yes, we're moving to South Florida. So Connor is my BookTube crush, and now I've said it. I mean, I've said it on here before, so it's no surprise. Okay, number 7, who would you like to go to a party that they were hosting? And for me, this is so easy. These girls are so fantastic. I haven't talked to them in forever, but I literally watch every video they put out, and they just always have me in hysterics, and that is the girls at Restricted Section. They are doing something out there that nobody else is doing. I love their gig so much. They could actually be very big on other parts of YouTube, but they're just doing the BookTube thing, which I think is fantastic because it's what they love. They are so hilarious together. They play off of each other so well. I mean, it literally is like a Lucy and Ethel drunk version, kind of, but they're not always drunk. They just are so good. I would love to go to a party of theirs. I think it would be hilarious. Okay, number 8. Who would you like to go to lunch with because they are so smart and you would love to have a conversation with them? And I mean just like a smart lunch conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would like, if you asked me somebody famous, I would say like Oprah Winfrey, because I would love to sit down with her and just like pick her brain. For me, I would say Francina Simone. Whenever she makes videos, I'm always like, oh my God, I never thought of that. Like, oh, she's really right. Like, I do that. And I would just love, she's so wise. I would love to just, and very humble about it too. Like, humble, but kind of like, let me tell you, I know I'm right, which I love with people, okay? I love when they're so assertive that they believe what they believe, but they're humble about it. And she is that. And she's beautiful on the inside and out. And I would love to go and have like a 3-hour lunch with her and just pick her brain, because I think, you know, have her sit in front of me, not even about books, and say, you know, what do you think I should do with this in my life? Or what do you think I should do with that? I think she would have such great perspective on the outside looking in, because she really doesn't lightly look at things. Like, she really stands back and responds rather than reacts. And I have to admire that. I have to admire that about anybody that does that, but especially with her. So I love her. Let's see, number 9, who would you like to have as your best Judy or your best friend on BookTube? And for me, that would hands down be Richard at Richard's Book Nook. Richard and I have had some hilarious conversations in DMs. And I just know, I will never forget this video of his that I watched. And at the beginning of it, it was like, cake by the ocean. And I like, every time I hear that song, I think of him. I just think that Richard and I would be like in the car and be like, yes, yes, yeah. We just would be wrong, okay? We just would get each other in so much trouble. And I think we would have so much fun together. And I just wish all of us booktubers could live in the same city together, and then they could just host BEA every year, and we could just all be best friends. Because that's what I would love, you know? And have conferences every weekend and all that. So for me, my BookTube best friend would definitely be Richard at Richard's Book Nook. And then number 10, who do you feel like is the BookTube ingenue? And for me, that's so easy. I mean, it's so easy, right? Lily C. Reads. I adore this girl. Okay, I am like, if I had a little sister, I would want her to be Lily C. Reads. She is so fantastic, and just so raw, unedited, and genuine. I just love her. I don't even care what she's reviewing, okay? And she needs to be on other parts of YouTube, because I'm telling you right now, people are watching her that don't even care about books. They just love her because she's just so, she just has that X factor, you know? She just is so fantastic. And then the last thing is 2 shout-outs. Two shout-outs to booktubers that you think work their ass off, that really deserve a shout-out, honorable mention. And for me, it is so easy. Number 1, I would say Graham at Mega Man Chief Fan. He is a high school kid. He is in musicals. He's applying to college. He gets fantastic grades. He is such a polite young man. I love this guy. He reads his ass off. I work my ass off. No, he reads his ass off. And he reads, I mean, hardly any of these books that all the rest of it. I mean, he is reading like 900-page literary fiction books that people read for master's level courses, and just grasps it so well. He's so fantastic, so humble, and such a neat kid. And Graham, if your parents are watching this, show this part to them. You have done such an amazing job raising this young man. I am so proud to call him a friend from afar, and he is such a cool kid. So, did I say Brandon? I meant Graham, sorry. Graham. I love him so much I forgot his name. Then, oh, I had 3 actually. Brandon the Book Addict, that's why I was gonna say Brandon. And I love Brandon's videos. He reminds me so much of myself when I was 18. And Brandon, I am sorry if you don't like that, but that's a compliment. I love him. He's just so kind of flighty and and I love this and I love that. And I adore him, and I watch all of his videos when he posts them. He's been posting more of them lately, but He kind of takes some time off and then comes back. So I love Brandon the Book Addict. And then the last one for me is Jenna C. Claire. I love her so much. Jenna Claire. I love her so much. I love this girl. I mean, like, if I could tell you right now, if there was one booktuber that I true story would love to meet in person, this girl, I feel like in the 2.5 years that I've been watching BookTube, I feel like I have seen her grow up from a girl to a young lady to a young woman in her BookTube videos, I mean, she sings, she does everything. She's taken us through college. She's just fantastic, and I adore her so much. And I think really big things are coming from her too. So Jenna, I adore you. You're one of my favorites. I don't think you have any idea how much I love you. So now let's get to the tagging part. The tagging part of this is the people that you mentioned in your video are who you just tagged. But if somebody tagged you or has been tagged already and you still want to put them on here, like me, you can still put them on there and just everybody else is who got tagged for the video. So anyway, if you listen to my categories, you know who I tagged, and that's it. Those are some of my favorites. I have hundreds. Like, it would be so hard for me. I sat down and I literally was like, okay, go, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that original book tag, the BookTuber Booktuber tag. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.